After spending the past decade growing and scaling a restoration company, and then building a restoration software company, and even writing a restoration book, I've decided to compile a list of do's and don'ts within restoration that I want to share with you guys today. Let's dive in. So the first one is implement data-driven decision making. And while it sounds like a mouthful, all it means is instead of running your business by your gut, run your business by the data. Oftentimes we find ourselves wanting to cut out employees because there's not enough money in the bank account. But when we start putting together all the other pieces of data, like how much money is owed to us, we quickly realize that cutting those employees out is not the best decision. Tie your team's compensation to results. Oftentimes, restoration employees are straight salary or hourly employees, and they're not really tied compensation-wise and aligned to the goals of the company. It's very, very important that every single employee, from the technician all the way up to the general manager, have their compensation tied to the success and the performance of the North Star principles of the company. So if your company's goal is to grow EBITDA, everybody's compensation needs to be tied to the performance of that EBITDA. Focus on high margin services first. Every restorer I see falls into the death trap of wanting to do everything for everybody. They'll start with very profitable mitigation services, and then they'll think, oh, we should just start doing rebuild. And then they'll lose focus on the meat and potatoes of mitigation, and then suddenly they run into cash flow issues and the company's P&L starts looking differently. The main thing you need to focus on is those high gross profit services like mitigation, and squeeze that lemon until there's no more juice to squeeze out of before you move on into other low margin services like reconstruction. And then the next do is never stop learning. Subscribe to all the wonderful channels out there like CNR Magazine, Reads, the RIA, and of course, read Restoration Millionaire, a step-by-step guide where I outline how I grew my restoration company, and subscribe to this channel. Now let's dive into the don'ts and the things you should not do. Don't get into this industry just for the money. It just won't work. Like, the amount of delayed gratification you need to have to run a successful restoration company is absolutely enormous. If you're just in it for the money, you're in the wrong industry. You need to hyper focus on your customer, your team, and your community prior to even thinking about the funds that you're gonna be taking out of the business. Don't accept anything less than excellent. I see restorers settling for good enough all the time. Oh yeah, that drywall flood cut was good enough, we'll accept it. Oh, that adjuster beat us by 10%, it's good enough, we'll accept it. The only way we will push this restoration industry forward is by settling for nothing less than excellence. And I believe each and every one of you guys can show that excellence. All you're doing wrong is you're settling for less than excellent. So change that mindset and watch the amazing things that will happen. Don't try to do everything all at once. Again, it baffles me how many restoration contractors are psychologists, water mitigation guys, contents cleaners, mold remediators, asbestos. They have a side hustle of remodeling, and they also do custom homes. Pick one thing and be really, really good at it, because if you're a jack of all trades and master of none, you're not gonna get anywhere. I had to step aside from my very profitable 8-figure restoration business when I found the passion of Albi as a restoration software, and I knew that I couldn't focus on both things and do both things very well. And lastly, please don't get discouraged by failure. You will fail. You will screw up those jobs. You will nick that pipe that causes the water to flood the entire apartment building. You will say things that you don't mean to your employees. You will lose some employees. Things will happen. But take every failure as a lesson and learn from it. Elon Musk, for example, spent billions of dollars sending rockets into space, gathered billions of dollars worth of investor funds as well, and it failed. And there was one more time, the third time, where if it would have failed, it would have been detrimental to the business. And it failed for the third time again, which would have almost made SpaceX go bankrupt. But instead of deciding, hey, we're just gonna give up, they tried one more time. And after that one time, they ended up getting a contract with NASA, and it moved forward and it became the SpaceX that you see today. Had he stopped after that third failure, and again, that third failure was so magnificent, billions of dollars, more than we could even imagine as restorers. If he would have stopped then, mankind wouldn't have been changed how it had changed. So just remember, don't give up. Do not give up when you see those failures. Embrace those failures as learning lessons because it will transform you who you are today. So all in all, my friends, these are the top do's and don'ts that I want every single restorer to write down, put on a piece of paper somewhere in their office, and just absolutely embrace. And I think if you follow these do's and don'ts, you will have amazing results within the restoration industry. And I can't wait to see the amazing restoration companies you guys build. If you like this and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. At Albi, we are super passionate about propelling the restoration industry forward. In fact, that's our mission statement.